And during the long daylight in the summertime, they would have air raids to northern Japan, just as kind of nuisance air raids. But they would involve 8 or 10 planes taking off from Shemya at 7 or 8 o'clock in the evening. And by the time they get to Paramashiro, it's dark, and they have the benefit of doing their job during the darkness. And then they would fly back to Shemya, and the distance was such that the planes could just barely make it. Mm-hmm. And if they didn't have any unusual takings or difficulties. So one of the duties that our destroyer escorts did was to be posted as a picket boat about halfway between Attu and Paramashiro, and we were to stay on that post until all of the planes that had made this trip to Paramashiro would pass over us on their way back to Shemya. And when that took place, then we could turn east and head for relative safety of distance added between us and the Japanese. And that was one of the activities that we took part in on a regular basis in the one summer that we were there. Other than that, it was just routine escorting of merchant ships. There were probably 3 or 4 more convoys that would be on a regular basis, like on a weekly basis, that would require escorting from Dutch Harbor all the way to Attu and then back. And we never had a confirmed submarine activity. We had several that looked suspicious, but we never could be sure. And so, you know, as far as I've been telling my story, by the time we got to the Aleutian Islands, the war was over in the Aleutian Islands, and what we were there to do was to make sure that it stayed that way. And I was reassigned from the ship effective January 1st, 1945, and that's another story.
Well,
thank you both. You have something to show us there, don't you?
This is just a little plaque that was a part of the annual gathering that we had of the Donif crew, which doesn't take place anymore. We all got too old and feeble to attend those things, but this was one that was held in St. Louis about probably late 1990s, and it's got a description of a destroyer escort, and it's you know, it's one of the mementos that has followed me for a good many years since then.
How large was your crew? How many people?
We had 190 on the crew and 10 officers. And we had the Donif, subsequent to my leaving, the Donif was reassigned to the Pacific area, and they had no casualties among the crew on that Pacific area, but we lost one sailor in the Aleutians who was a victim of a pretty severe storm. He fell overboard, and we were never able to find him. We found his jacket, but that was all. But that, far as I know, that's the only casualty that the Doniph had in the year and a half or more that it was in commission. When they returned from the South Pacific, when the Japanese War was over, the ship was decommissioned at the Mare Island Navy Yard in San Francisco. And far as I know, was cut up for scrap or whatever else they did to those.
Well, thank you very much, both of you.